All right, welcome to That Synth Show. Listen, I've had about, I think it was about 1,500 to 3,000 emails today, and everybody's saying, Synth Samurai, why haven't you covered the Behringer Proton? I had to think about it for a minute, and I was like, you know, there's a real reason why I haven't covered that Behringer Proton, and that was I wanted to actually compare it to the Behringer Neutron. I wanted to make sure that if you bought the Proton, you weren't actually getting a blue neutron. So that's where we are today, man. We're gonna look at the Behringer Proton and the Behringer Neutron, a VS style comparison, and we're gonna see if you got the Neutron, should you get the Proton? Personally, right now, I'm not gonna tell you what I think because I need you to watch it a little longer, but we'll tell you in a minute. Let's go with That Synth Show, baby. All right. We don't need to waste no time with that intro, but look at this thing, man. I have heard everybody from Nick Bat to Noir LeBron to Autumn Guard to Starsky and Carr to the Pro Synth Network today, which let me give a shout out to the Pro Synth Network. The boys absolutely loved the Behringer Proton. They loved it so much. There's a couple synthesizers they loved in the last couple weeks that, you know what? I used to think they were a part of the synth mafia, but now I'm starting to think the three boys are some British renegades, man. They're a part of the renegade unit, man. I want to give a shout out to them, and I want to say hello and thank you very much for being honest about this beautiful machine that Uli Behringer has decided to bring to the public. He has decided to descend it down upon us from above. A unique, a special, a beautiful compliment to the Neutron, because you can't have a Proton without a Neutron. So we're gonna get into that right now. Let's jump right on over to the big screen. Already up on Sweetwater, $399. It's absolutely breathtaking. Look at this, Patch Bay. The best knobs in the business, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It's an absolutely, this is the reason why I've constantly been saying, Uli, we know you're listening. Please pivot. It's time to pivot. We love the clones, but you know what? Clones are clones, man. They're not the real thing. Although they're amazing, they're beautiful, it's time to finally let that beautiful creative inspiration in you come out and start producing things like this, like the DeepMind 12. We're waiting for the DeepMind X, but you're bringing us the Proton now. Let's get a little taste of this beautiful little baby right here.
So, because it's been a few years now since we released one of our most popular original synths, the Neutron,
There he is.
We thought it was...
Before we get going, man, this is the best in the business. This is a brother in arms. This is Patch Dog, baby. He likes the bone broth. He likes pumping it up. He told me the other day he can't wait for the Synth Bros workout to come down the pipe, but let's just keep it going.
Good time to add the next particle to the nucleus. Because you can't have a stable atom with just neutrons. It's the Behringer Proton.
Better believe it. I mean, the Neutron was an awesome name, but listen, you can't have a stable particle without the Proton, baby. And listen, man, this thing is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is a synthesizer that you can't help but fall in love with because it's so beautiful. They're the best in the business. They're the best in the business. There's nobody better than Behringer when it comes to video marketing. I know I say it every time, and I know you guys down in the comments are going to be like, oh, he's a Behringer shill. Guess what? I'm a shill for everything. I'm what you call an honest shill. I'm just a guy who loves it all. Except the labyrinth.
Audio scientists out there, you've been asking us about this one for a while, and coming packed with more control, more oscillators, more envelopes, and more LFOs, you're not going to have any trouble bringing this one to life.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
All right, so before we get into the Proton, I don't know if that's an ad that just jumped in on me. Hold on.
Are you paying too much for your favorite brands? Save big on
Yeah, we
Fender,
are. We're paying way
Boss,
too much.
PRS.
Skip. All right, but before we get into that, let's jump on over here, go back to our other screen. Let's check out the Neutron for a second, because I labeled this video Neutron versus Proton. What's the difference? Because a lot of us have Neutrons. I got a Neutron right up there. I wish I could show you, but I can't. But I do have a Neutron right up here with a Model D and a Wasp. And the thing is, it's a very different synthesizer. And I'm personally saying that if you got the Model 15, the Neutron, and the Proton, I think you might as well get rid of your Moog Sound Studio. It might sound crazy. A lot of people think it's out of control, but let's check out the Neutron video. I'll tell you, it sounds exactly like this. I got it up there. It sounds exactly like this. So, like, if you get this thing, you will not be disappointed. It sounds exactly like this. All right, that's the semi-intro video. Let's jump on over. We'll go quick, man, because I know you guys don't got a lot of time. You're like me, man. We're busy. Let's check out the overview. It's a minute, and then we're going to go back to the Proton, because I wanted to give you an idea so you don't go out and you don't go spend the $399 or $49. What is it? Hold on. Let's see what it is. What's the Proton? All right, man. They're selling the Proton for the same price as the Pro 800, which is an 8-voice poly-analog aftertouch-enabled synthesizer. I got some issues with this, but we'll jump back in a minute. But let's check it out. This is the overview of the Neutron. Sounds like that. I hear a lot of people talking about wanting to get into modular, and I really think that if you want to get into modular like me, it's very overwhelming. For $250 to $300, you can actually experience how it is to start patching the guts to the stomach of the synthesizer. On the outside, you can start taking the guts and moving around on the outside. There's no better synthesizer to do it, in my opinion, right now than a Behringer Neutron. And now we got the Proton coming, and we got the Model 15. I should show that in a second too. Very cool, very cool, very, very cool. Now, I got a episode 2 of Inside R&D by Behringer. This is an hour long. Or no, is it 2 minutes long? I think I got a couple here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this one here is an hour long. This one's 2 minutes long. We'll jump back, but let's go check out the Proton now. You got a little idea, if you got your headphones on or you got your monitors on, you got a little idea what that sound's all about. Let's make sure we get a good sound of the Proton.
So here it finally is, the Behringer Proton, a semi-modular, fully analog Euro rack fit for any mad synthesist. It features 2 creamy analog VCOs with 5 wave shapes and pulse width modulation, and an additional 2 beefy sub-oscillators.
So this is the beautiful thing about this. It's got 2 beefy sub-oscillators. This is where and as the video progresses, it'll get interesting. I don't know if you like me stopping the video and explaining to you what's actually happening. If you don't, let me know in the comments and we'll just let the video go. But you know, this is trial and error. It's live TV.
With 4 selectable wave shapes and paraphonic and oscillator sync modes. It's got the same gorgeous sounding MoFat multi-mode filter design with low pass, band pass and high pass modes carried over from the Neutron. But this time, we've added 2 of them, which can be used in series or parallel, and with also an added soft resonance curve option, giving it even more tone shaping capability.
I mean, they're giving you 2 envelopes, 2 oscillators, 2 sub-oscillators, 4 envelopes, sorry, 2 filters to be run in serial or parallel. This is a pretty hard modular synthesizer to beat, to be honest, and they've done it right by separating from the crave, the edge, and the soon-to-come spice, which totally, I love you, Behringer, but you failed on the top part, man. Putting the patch bay on the top is just a spaghetti noodle mess.
There's 2 ADSR envelopes with an added control switch to select between fast or slow curve. There's a new multi-mode wave folder with adjustable folds and symmetry, giving you the ability to create complex harmonics. And then you've got the dual LFOs with independent rate and depth controls, one-shot sync and retrigger modes, and with 5 different wave shapes to choose from. The Proton also has 2 parallel VCAs with independently adjustable bias controls, 2 AR envelopes with loop, bounce, sustain, inverse, reverse, and retrigger.
If you don't know what the bias controls are, the bias controls mean that you do not have to have a MIDI controller set up to it. You can turn the bias control up and it just drones. And then you can manipulate the LFO, the filter, the resonance, the envelopes. You can manipulate that all into a drone. So you don't need a MIDI controller to use these. That's what the VCA bias is.
Modes, 2 attenuators, a CV mix control, portamento mode, and of course the all-important patch bay, located conveniently on the right away from all the controls with a massive matrix of CVIO. So, as you can imagine, with all these features, the Proton offers an extreme level of flexibility and is essentially 2 synthesizers in one.
Essentially.
And we're really proud of it. It's a fully in-house design, including those awesome sounding MoFat filters, which so many of you came to love in the Neutron.
Do you know the thing about it is I listened to a lot of videos about this. I wanted to make my Proton video after I scoured the internet of all the other Proton videos. So I wanted to get an idea of if the synth mafia was for or against it. And it seems that the temperature I'm getting is, because this is an original and it's not a clone, a lot of people are really feeling the vibe of this one. Not only is it that beautiful color, not only has it done something, I think completely, the only thing it hasn't done is add a couple of effects, but you know what? It seems like a lot of the old school cats out there don't even like internal effects, so they should love it. Oscillators, baby, let's go.
Okay, so let's check out the oscillators first, and I'll start by going through all the waveforms on a single oscillator so we can get a good feel for the raw tone.
Let's do it.
Okay, so straight
That's one oscillator, man. That thing sounds absolutely massive.
off the bat, those already sound pretty beefy. And a cool feature here is that you can also fade between each wave shape instead of a hard toggle, which of course can also...
I believe they also added that to the Neutron in the firmware upgrade. You can now fade between waveforms instead of just like, you know, change. You can like mold Or I guess they'll call it fade.
To be modulated via the patch bay. So to enable it, you simply press the oscillator's corresponding range button and the power button.
Not super smooth, but not
You know
bad.
what's in your cheap protein powder?
What?
Well,
What's
here to
in my
tell us
protein
is
powder?
all-natural fitness athlete Paul Sklar.
All right, let's see what we've got.
Whatever, Paul. I don't eat no protein powder.
Okay,
bro.
let's now have a listen to the sub-oscillators. So I've started a sequence here on a higher octave on a single voice, and then I'll mix in the sub-oscillator.
This is one of the cool points about the Behringer Proton is it's got a sub-oscillator. And if any of you guys have messed around with the subharmonicon, this is one of the beauties about the Moog subharmonicon. So let's just listen to this for a second.
Using the sub-mix control, and then also bring in the second voice using the oscillator mix control.
I mean, is having a sub-oscillator essentially for oscillators? I need that question answered in the comments, please. This is why Patchdog is one of the best in the business. He's absolutely one of the best in the business because the exact question I was just about to ask, he goes and does it. No sub with sub. No sub with sub. This is the best. This is
Okay,
the best.
so moving on, let's have a
This is the best. Paraphonic mode.
listen to the paraphonic mode, which is enabled by pressing the power button. And while I'm at it, I'll also have a little play with the VCO wave shapes and some pitch and pulse width modulation. Sounds fantastic, man. This sounds fantastic. Oscillator syncs insane. It's like video game style. But let me jump over here. Let's just check out. This is 2 minutes. I want to check out this R&D video about the Neutron. Hold on.
Hi, this is Pete and Rob from Midas R&D again, and we're going to have a look at Neutron today. It's a project we've been working on for the last year.
I don't know if the bars are twins, but they might be clones. And that's funny because Behringer makes clones, it's funny that they got two dudes together that look like they're cloned.
So, and something we're really excited about. So I have one here. What would be nice to talk about is why we've done this, and some of the ethos, if you like.
Might be the same guy. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think the main kind of driving force was we wanted to do something affordable, semi-modular.
I think they cloned Carl Pinkerton. You know who he is?
Seems to be a lot of interest in semi-modular synths these days. We're fascinated with it ourselves, and we wanted to kind of get a dabble in that market and find something that people could use as a starting point, build up their system.
And often you find with semi-modular gear that a lot of the inputs aren't there that you want. Some of the things in the mod matrix aren't quite right. Some of the flexibility you would get from modular gear isn't quite there. So we kind of went a little bit mad on the patch bay because we wanted to provide everything that would be there than if you sort of bought the modules yourself.
Yeah, I mean, a case in point for that is a delay.
Man, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe.
It was like, okay, we need to put that delay time control voltage on there somewhere, so we had to squeeze it in. Yeah. And that's great fun. I mean, we'll hopefully provide some more videos, some audio examples. Some of the patches that the guys have been setting up testing this are just fantastic. So yeah, we'd like to share some of those as well. But yeah, it's a really powerful little synth. Obviously the two oscillators, the 3340 sound fantastic. We've got a unique
3340 sound, that's the chip, man.
Custom filter. It's a 2-pole, but it's multi-mode, and the resonance sounds great. And also the overdrive and the delay gives it, you've got enough of a palette there to get a wide range of sounds and clean.
Yeah, so man, listen, Behringer's working hard. I'm not carrying Behringer's water. They don't need me to carry it. I'm just letting you know, man, these guys got lots of beautiful content. If you're willing to explore a little bit and dig a little deeper and stop getting troned out by all the nonsense that says Behringer isn't putting out quality stuff, this Neutron is deep thought, and it spawned the Proton, which we're going to continue back to in a second.
It's a filthy. It's
filthy.
Morphable LFO shapes, oscillator shapes. So it's a pretty cool little box.
And with our little utilities there, you've got everything self-contained there to have quite a lot of fun. And, to explore,
100%.
The catchphrase, a huge sonic palette, but there's a lot of possibilities for you there to have.
Is that a catchphrase? Huge sonic palette?
With, and, we've certainly had loads of fun playing with all the possibilities. So, when you have two, it's even better. So.
Yeah.
Boss, you got to tell me, man. Like the bars are no way Behringer didn't try to make it look like they cloned the same dude to talk about this.
Anyway, I think that's it.
Genius.
Thanks again. Comments.
Yeah, thanks again. Let's jump back to the Proton. Oscillator sync.
And if you're looking for those crazy sync sounds, or of course more moderate ones, the Proton has you covered. With a simple press of the sync button, we can now sync VCO2 to VCO1. And now we can patch a source into it, so let's do ADSR2. We'll plug that into an attenuator so we have more control over the pitch cycle, and then out of the attenuator into oscillator 2's pitch. Oh, I like that sound. It's almost got a video game vibe about it.
Home studio? Pro studio? No studio? No problem.
What's up, Sweetwater? You're infiltrating now? Come on, man. You got to start paying me for these
And of
ads.
course, let's not forget those sweet but yet wonderfully gritty MoFat filters. And given that you have two of them with a low-pass bandpass.
So I heard the other day, if you guys know what the deal with the MoFat filters is, tell me. I think it's from the ARP series and korg style filters, but I could be wrong. Let me know.
And a high-pass mode on each, there's definitely loads of fun to be had.
So if you haven't noticed, let's zoom in here. These knobs are from a company that won Knobs of the Year. These are beautiful, beautiful knobs, and they won Knobs of the Year. I don't know what the company is. Someone in the chat will throw it down there. I didn't want this video to be so long, but it's absolutely awesome synthesizer. It's super wicked. I think if you get the Model 15, the Neutron, and this Proton, I really think you'd be absolutely crazy to buy the Moog Sound Studio. It's just my opinion. You tell me yours. I think you'd be nuts. what an awesome sounding filter, man. That MOFAT filter, MOFAT, however you say it.
Well, they've definitely got a lot of bite on them, that is for sure. So let's outro this video with a little jam now. Stay tuned, because we've got more jams to come as we've barely scratched the surface.
I'm going to have to get one of these and do a jam, because I got the Neutron up there, and I'm going to get the Model 15 and this too.
Catch you in the next one.
All right, so let's go over here and check out what the difference is. So this is what we got. The Proton's $399. The Neutron is coming in at $349. Right here. This is Sweetwater. They jammed an ad onto my YouTube channel. That's just YouTube style, but we ain't sponsored by anybody, only each other. So we got the Neutron for $349. We got the Proton pre-order for $399. But the question is, we'll watch this in a second. We got another video here called Neutron with Gianni Grizzanzio. But I want to show you this. So let's go through this together. This is what you came for. If you've made it this far, this is what you came for. You want to know the difference between the Proton and the Neutron. I just showed you some sound differences, but let's actually look into the specs. If we go down here, we got it right here. All right, so here are the features. Differences between the Proton and the Neutron. Neutron, 2 oscillators, 5 waveforms, 2 oscillators, 5 waveforms. Draw. Paraphonic sync mode. Both have it. Sub-oscillators. The Proton has 2 sub-oscillators. The Neutron has 0. Multi-mode filters. Neutron has 1 filter. Proton has 2 filters, which you can operate in series or parallel. ASR envelopes. Neutron 0. Proton 2 with looping, reverse, inverse, and bounce options. ADSR envelopes. 2 for the Neutron, 2 for the Proton. So that means the Proton has 4 envelopes, okay? LFOs. Neutron has 1 LFO with 5 waveforms. The Proton has 2 LFOs with 5 waveforms. That's basically 1 LFO per oscillator. Wave folders. Neutron has no wave folder. Proton has a wave folder. Analog bucket brigade delay. Yes on the Neutron. No on the Proton. Sample and hold. Yes on the Neutron. No on the Proton. Overdrive. Yes on the Neutron. No on the Proton. So as we can see right over here, as far as effects go, we got a wave folder on the Proton, but we got no delay, no sample and hold, no overdrive on the Proton at all. So you're basically, if you're looking for some effects, that's going to have to be added externally. Noise generator, they both got noise generators. They both got attenuators. The Neutron's got 56 patch point bay. The Proton's got a 64 point patch bay. Knobs, Neutron has 43, Proton has 68. Is the Behringer Proton worth it? Compared to the Neutron, we see that the Proton has both gained and lost some. So what you've gained in functionality and synthesis ability, you've lost in effects. But to be honest with you, as an owner of the Neutron, as far as effects go, the overdrive on the Neutron is annoying. Usually I bypass that via the patch bay and get rid of the overdrive. And the bucket brigade delay on the Neutron is something to be desired. So I would always supplement the Neutron with external effects anyway. So if you just want to pick one, I would 100% go with the Proton. But to me, adding both of those together and then adding a Behringer Model 15 as a triple stack, and then if you really want to get buck wild, you add the Behringer Pro 800 for an 8-voice analog polyphonic aftertouch enabled module. Then you got a quadruple stack. Then if you really want to go buck wild, you add the UBXA desktop to that beauty with 16 powerful analog voices, bitimbral with 8 atrophy settings. Are you kidding me? With polyphonic aftertouch and MPE ability enabled. Okay, we're getting a little wild, but if you want to stack up that Behringer tower, you can. So that is this video. That's what we got. We got the Neutron, we got the Proton. Okay, you go pick it up yourself if you're into it. That's the differences, man. That's what I wanted to bring to you. I know it was a little long, but you know what? people who are into this community, we don't mind sitting around and interacting in the chat. And that's why tonight I'm going to make this video a live premiere, because I feel like Samurai Nation's chat is amazing. Shout out to Nick Bat, the legends. Shout out to the Pro Synth Network. We're having a little fun in the chat community. We're talking about the Synth Mafia and all that. You know, man, I'm the one running the Synth Mafia. I hope you guys understand that now. I'm the godfather of the Synth Mafia, and I'm wondering if you guys want to get involved. Slew, slew! That's that Synth Show, baby!